What's up? Welcome back to Dynamic Entry. It is I, the professional henchman, as always, doing the new metal hands as I talk about one of my favorite games that I've recently returned to, which is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marines 2. You know, originally I put myself out there and I was like, hey, this is going to be the game of the year a year ago. And while that didn't happen, I am happy to report that the game is actually alive and well. Sure, the launch could have been a little bit more robust. If you ask some folks, they believe that there wasn't enough missions outside of the first 6 operations that we were offered, and far too little customization. But I think looking back a year later, they've made some great strides. We have a preview of what's coming in the next October update, which I believe is update 11, and other than the fact that they're going to be adding a host of changes, we've seen some of the cosmetic information. We're going to be getting a Blood Angels and Salamander pack. What we know about the Blood Angels pack is it's going to be a tactical specific class, but the devs have acknowledged the outcry and requests for something more assault focused. And when you think of the Blood Angels, you think of jump jets and, you know, bloodlust and stuff. So I think it's great that they're going to do that. Apparently they are going to add a special customizable jump pack for the assault class, and that being the class that I main. I'm very excited. Are they going to do the big Ceramite angel wings? I sure hope so. Other than that, we're going to be getting the Salamanders cosmetic pack, which will offer a host of armor accoutrement for my brothers there. And hey, happy for you. I've been really enjoying the DLC packs as they've rolled out, and it's nice to see that the changes have come to where now many of the pieces can be used across the different classes. There are still some limitations. You're not going to be able to use everything from the Salamanders first pack or the current Space Wolves pack on every class, but I think it's cool that there's some like crossover there. I am hoping that there is more expansion to that. As far as other updates, we know that eventually down the road we are going to be getting our new class, which is the Tech Marine. It's going to come with the Omnissiah axe, which is the huge Mechanicus axe that you always see the Mechanicus walking around with. Cool shit, very excited for that. But I think what really takes me is the direction of Focus Entertainment themselves. Now, I would say that customization is something that is intrinsically important to many games. However, I think its connection to Warhammer exceeds many other mediums. And I say that because one of the main appeals of the Warhammer franchise is collecting and painting the minis, right? So I get it. As someone who heavily customizes in all games, I was in fact a little bummed too when things like this and other limited changes were there. One particular problem I'm having is I like to make a lot of 30,000 specific paints, and you know, other than prestiging all of the classes once to get the nice bolted shoulders, there's still some stuff that is lacking that could be added to make it a little easier to customize. But the reason I bring that up is because they've made a decision over at Focus to allow their toolkit to come out for the PC players, and I think it is one of the most brilliant decisions that you can do. Now, I may not personally agree with the continued longevity of games like Skyrim, but I will say, as someone who's heavily modded it and played it and enjoyed it before, games like Skyrim, as well as Grand Theft Auto, have their longevity because of the communities that surround them. And when game devs are willing to listen to these communities, and especially when they're willing to give them the tools to add in what they want, it becomes incredible. With this toolkit, modders for the PC game will have already added tons of armor. I mean, you can be a Grey Knight, a Terminator. They do have the big Angel Ceramite wings. You could be a Chaplain. I've seen people play as Eldari. It's nuts. And it goes beyond that. They've also made it so that people can mess with the AI and change how they map certain behaviors there. Add equipment, story missions, voice lines. I mean, they really gave us the keys to the kingdom. Now, why I think that's so important, I think, is because it just shows that they're listening. I mean, there's going to be constraints when it comes to the console itself. I would personally love to see mods come to PlayStation 5, where I play myself, but I understand that licensing and permissions and all that become a big issue. It's part of why it took so long for many other games that are now on the PlayStation 5 to eventually get permission to mod in the first place. It was actually something Larian kind of had to sneak in for Baldur's Gate 3. So the fact that Focus Entertainment is willing to do this, even if it is for now just for the PC players, is massive. And moreover, they don't seem to be punishing anyone. They actually seem to be giving us everything we need to just express ourselves wholly. And I think that's fucking dynamite. There are many changes still to come for the game. Recently, one of the patches addressed something where we assault classes were burning the hell out of our teammates when we were kind of flying into the air. You know, so there's bugs and stuff to work out, but they seem to be really paying attention. It's one of the few Discord servers of a major game company I actually sit in and watch, and it's updated pretty regularly. Things are pretty well taken care of, and the community has remained mostly positive, all things considered. I think that's great. Now, is it the best Warhammer game on the planet? I don't know. I mean, a lot of people prefer Darktide or, Rogue Trader when it comes to the actual story and the atmosphere, because, yeah, Space Marines is kind of a turn your brain off and go have fun game. You're not going to be going through annals and lexicons of everything going on in the Imperium. And that can be a shame to a degree, but I think it's all about going to go look for that in the correct spaces. Not to say that Space Marines 2 shouldn't have anything like that, but when playing the newer missions and fighting against some of the newer bosses, I just feel like they have made some of those changes. The desert level, especially, where you fight the Trigon, I think it's a great level, and it shows a little bit of love to the Mechanicus and how behaviors and interactions can happen between the Astartes and them. It's cool, man. Is it a lot? No. Could it be more? Sure, but it's getting there. And between, the consistent free updates, the paid DLC that we're getting, which isn't bad if you're asking me, and the ability for the modders to just run free and add things to that they like to the game, man, I don't know. I'm really proud of Focus Entertainment. Not that they need my pride for anything, just because I think that they're taking a lot of care of the product and obviously listening to the fans. But those are just my opinions. I mean, I've kind of been on a 40K kick as of recently. I really have been playing like Darktide, Rogue Trader, Space Marines like on a rotation every day. Like I go from one to another. So maybe it's just because I've engrossed myself so deeply as of recently into the lore, but really, I think that for what it is and for the behaviors that the devs themselves have been showing to the community, considering how other devs can be in the community, it's fantastic stuff. Thank you guys so much for the last year. We both learned a lot, but I'm still enjoying the game and I cannot wait to see what you come up with next. But those are my thoughts, and I don't think they'll change, but I'll keep you posted as we keep playing Space Marines 2. That's going to be it for this video, but hey, we've got a whole catalog of stuff on the channel. So jump in, find a video that you want to watch, let it play in the background, listen to something, watch one of our lists, or maybe you want to look for us in a few of the other places and spaces you can find us, which should all be linked down below. Nate's pretty good about that stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. And you be careful out there, Astartes. Peace.